Hey everyone, welcome back. So food is known to bring people together, and our next guest decided to write a cookbook during the COVID-19 pandemic to help connect different cultures through food. Taste of Solitude is a culinary journal filled with recipes, stories, lessons, and themes that emerge from gratitude, friendship, hope, and so much more. And joining us to tell us more about her new book, Taste of Solitude, please welcome author and real estate specialist, Nadege Fleurimond. Hello.
Hello, Rita. Thank you so much for having me.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Close, very close. But I know it's a hard one. I had teachers who couldn't pronounce it for years. It's Nadege Fleurimond.
Nadege Fleurimond. It's such a beautiful name that just flows off the tongue. It's just, when you see the spelling of it, it becomes intimidating.
Yes, it is.
Welcome and thank you for being here with us. I am so looking forward to sharing your journey with our viewers. I did mention that you are a real estate specialist, and I wanted to make sure that people are aware that, especially during this particular day and age, we're all wearing multiple hats, right?
Definitely, and you have to. And it's one of the best things that I think I ever did in my career is not stifling any of my passions and pursuing all the things, I guess, that set my soul on fire, because they all have come to help during a time like this when maybe one aspect of business is slower. I'm able to utilize another component.
Right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's a matter of generating and also elevating, right? It's generating and elevating because I'm assuming that lifestyle is it exposes you to beautiful things that definitely elevate your sense of thinking and seeing and visioning, right? Which leads me to this new book. Congratulations on this new book.
Thank you very much, Rina. Taste of Solitude,
A
Culinary.
Taste of Solitude, a culinary journal. And let's just share with everyone the process, because I mean, it's amazing that you wrote a book during this pandemic, but most importantly, the way it came into fruition.
Definitely. I mean, the book was not my intention at all. Even though I've been in food for over a decade, I started my catering company while a junior at Columbia University. But food this year was not the focal point in the sense of a book. But during the pandemic, I think we're all looking for something to ease our worries, ease our woes. I had my businesses, my real estate business, my culinary tours, travel, my catering business, everything revolved around people, and it all came to a halt. So food now became, instead of my work, it became my therapy. And it's a therapy that, and you use the word elevate, that I decided to share with my audience, both on Instagram and Facebook, as a way to basically elevate our spirit, because the core of my work, whether it be real estate or food, is to elevate people, show them that they can pursue their passions or impact people's lives through the things that they're passionate about. So food became that way of elevating our spirit during a time when we were all in the same boat and being worried.
Well, it's lovely because I find that a lot of our topics within the show, based on where we are, is that we're all finding means to just exercise some form of therapy and healing together, being apart. And so it's interesting that you've chosen that your choice of communication through this virtual platform was through food. And while people cannot smell what you're making, there had to have been something that you were doing that was connecting everyone into being attracted to whatever it is that you were doing, right? You were basically cooking in front of a camera and sharing with people is what you were doing, and then deciding to put it all on paper and develop this book. Is that what happened?
Yes, yes. I think part of the sharing, though, was food was one place that we had some level of control during this time. And two, I'm from Haiti. I love Haiti, and I'm always looking for ways to share about Haiti in different forms. And food has always been my tool of educating not just even other Haitians, but the world about Haiti and its history. So I utilized that platform and basically merge all of those things together, because the whole focal point was, yes, let's share, let's connect, because we couldn't meet, right? Remember, we couldn't meet. So turning on that camera was my way of having some form of connection with the outside world, and also people felt and vice versa. But it was also at this point now when people were like, well, how much of this did you put in the paella? How much of that did you put in this? It sparked me, being the business person that I am, it
Right.
sparked in my head that perhaps, oh, this is an opportunity. Though it wasn't one that I planned and I went after, I did notice the business opportunity when people started asking me, like, how much of this? What is the recipe? Even though I was cooking as a chef, as a person who loved cooking, I wasn't sharing measurements. So I was like, oh, ooh, light bulb. Perhaps there is a way to monetize this while still sharing that experience.
Exactly. That it's about being innovative, absolutely. And not only that, whether you realize it or not, you documented this particular period of your life, of our lives, because this particular time is a time capsule that is going to go down in history for hundreds of years to come. And the fact that you've chosen to do a recipe book geared towards Haitian, right? The Haitian community. So or the culture, I should say. So the book itself has predominantly Haitian dishes, or predominantly Haitian dishes. What does the book consist of?
The book is mainly a fusion book. I say it's world cuisine anchored in Haiti. And the reason I say that is I already have a very traditionally Haitian cookbook called Haiti Uncovered, which I traveled Haiti and explored the traditional cuisine. With this book, I wanted to share how I typically cook for myself. I left Haiti when I was 7. I grew up in New York City. I've traveled to Jamaica, Morocco, Paris, Barcelona, all these different places, and I love food. When I travel, food is almost how I explore a new place, right? So I wanted to share some of those experiences and food experiences through this book, but I always say anchored in Haiti because that's the foundation of how I cook, and I think Haitian cuisine is the best cuisine in the whole wide world.
You may say so yourself. If you may say so yourself, because us Caribbean folks, it's all good. You gotta represent. I get it.
You
I
gotta
get it.
have to represent, of course, of course, of course. But yeah, so I figured this was a perfect opportunity to merge because my audience is very diverse. While I have a large Haitian audience, I have people from the South. I have people from other Caribbean countries that are avid fans. So I wanted to create a book that would merge and connect us, especially in the times that we're living in right
Yeah,
now.
because you're also shedding a light, whether you realize it, on Black Lives Matter from a cultural perspective, right? And that my sister is an act of resistance, believe it or
Thank
not.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I think that's important because with food, what you start realizing, I tell people that I'm not a culinary historian in any way, but I think I look at food a little bit differently than a lot of people. Just like I said, when I enter a new country, I'm exploring the dynamics of it through a food inspired lens. So when I look at dishes like a paella, and I'm like, which is so revered now in today's times, but when you look at the history, a lot of these cuisines are based in peasant communities, peasant traditions. And then you also notice like something like shrimp and grits. There's so many similarities with the grits of the South in the US, in the maï moulin in Haiti, in the cuckoo in other Bayesian communities. And so we're all connected. And that's what I really wanted to highlight.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we're running out of time, but before we go, I wanted to make sure that everybody understands, because she is seriously repping Haiti. She has now designed an apron line to go with it. That's Haitian, what would we call that? Haitian centric.
Haitian centric because the Carabella dress is a traditional denim peasant dress. And again, my whole thing is to elevate whatever we consider the peasant tradition or traditional things to another level. So it's a beautiful denim embroidered with beautiful artwork apron that when you want to show off for Thanksgiving, you didn't really do the cooking, but you want to look good, right? So you wear it and you bring out the turkey, or you can also cook in it because it's a really good quality denim cotton apron. So to me, it all connects. It brings Haiti together, the world together. There's shrimp and grits in the book. There's paella in the book. There's escovitch fish in the book. But really, show the merge of all the connections between these various countries.
That's awesome. Thank you for bringing it here to our viewers. And thank you for putting it on paper for people to basically learn how to do it on their own, infuse it their own way. And where can people get both items, the book and the apron?
The book, everything is available on my website. If you see my name, nadegefleurimond.com. I also have a shop, which is called the Warrior Shop, ROARIOR shop.com, or on Amazon. The book is on Amazon. The apron is not on Amazon yet, but you can get everything on my site, or you can get the book on Amazon.
Awesome. Woo, all right. I can't wait to get my Haitian-centric apron.
You definitely need at least an apron and the book to all go together. So we'll make sure that's taken care of, Rhina.
Love it. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Once again, you guys, for Taste of Solitude, a culinary journal, it's available on Amazon. And for more on Nadege Fleurimond, you can visit her Instagram at Nadege Fleurimond. All right, don't go anywhere because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.